Ladies and gentlemen, the Board of Education is convened this evening for the sole purpose of receiving public commentary on the fiscal year 2015 proposed budget. The Board, of course, appreciates your participation in this process. It is only with the public's involvement that we'll be able to craft a plan that best meets the needs of our many students and staff of Prince George's County Public Schools and ensures that we are providing top-notch, world-class education for every student who enters our doors. The CEO's proposal is designed to further the vision of Prince George's County Public Schools that every student will acquire the skills, knowledge, and behaviors to be college and career ready. Through the budget work sessions and public hearings such as these, the Board will fine-tune the plan as appropriate and ensure that it is focused on our key priorities such as funding student needs, supporting employees, continued investment in innovative programs, and continued financial stability. Excuse me. The purpose of the budget work sessions is to ensure the Board process remains student-focused, equitable, transparent, and flexible. Excuse me. Got a little bug in my throat. More information is available on our website at pgcps.org. This is the first of several public hearings. We will have a public hearing on February 19th, 2004 here at 7 p.m. and another one on February 24th, again at 7 p.m. We will also have a work session on February 24th at 5 p.m. and then the Board will meet to adopt the budget on our February 25th, 2014 board meeting that will begin at 7:05 p.m. Please do note that there were several changes in the calendar that were put out, so these dates differ slightly from ones that had been put out previously. The recommended budget will then be forwarded to the County Executive, Mr. Asherin Baker, who will develop his proposed county budget and present it to the County Council in March 2014. The County Council must adopt a budget which includes the school system funding designated by category, and then it goes to the state legislature in April 2014. The Board of Education will then reconcile with the county's approved budget, and it will be adopted at a regularly scheduled meeting in June 2014. All right, colleagues, we'll now hear from our registered speakers. Public comment for folks who will speak for 3 minutes. Again, as always, the rule in our public comments, you'll have 3 minutes to speak. The Board will not address your comments, but we will be taking copious notes. At the sound of the buzzer, you'll be able to kind of finish your final thought, and we'll ask you to conclude at that time. So now, let's begin. We will begin with our first registered speaker for the evening, who is Sophia Riazi-Sakowski. Is Sophia Riazi-Sakowski available? Is she not on there? Okay, I was wondering about that. All right, then we will go to Ms. Jennifer Pokari.
Good evening, Dr. Eubanks and board members. My name is Jennifer Porcari, and I have 2 children at Judith P. Hoyer Montessori School, a 9-year-old, Kana, and a 6-year-old, Sarah. And my comments for 3 minutes. I am from New England originally. I can talk very fast, but I will try not to talk too fast. Will be directed to requesting your support for the expansion of our middle school. And first, I would like to begin by thanking Dr. Maxwell for including the expansion in the proposed budget. Hoyer parents in our Montessori program have long sought parity for the central part of our county for a K-8 Montessori program. In the northern county addresses and the southern county zip codes, a full Montessori program for K-8 has been offered for many years. In the central part of our county, based on where you live and based on what zip code you're in, our school was K-6. And so our parents have long sought to expand this to K-8. When the board explained to us a number of years ago that part of the reason that we could not have an expansion was that our school was too small and physically could not accommodate a K-8 program, the parents worked with the board and with the administration, and we were able to move our school into the Oakcrest School in 2012. So we fulfilled that challenge. So now we're again asking for your support to build our middle school program, to have full parity. And with your continued support, and please, we're asking that you continue to include this in the budget, we'll have a very strong K-8 program. We have a strong parents in our school that have worked very hard for this and continue to work for all of the children in Prince George's. We definitely look forward to working with you to develop our middle school program. We're committed to the school system. We're committed to Prince George's County, and we look forward to working with Dr. Maxwell and the school board to make Prince George's schools the pride of Maryland. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is James Wallace IV. James Wallace IV here. Good evening, young man.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is James Wallace IV. I'm a fourth grader at Judith P. Hoyer. First, I would like to thank the Board of Education for allowing me to express my feelings about the middle school expansion at Judith P. Hoyer Montessori School. Secondly, I would like to acknowledge my classmates and their families from Judith P. Hoyer. Please rise in acknowledgement. I have been a Montessori student since I was 2 years old. I really enjoy my Montessori education and the ability to learn new and exciting things. The activities and lessons really challenge my mind, and it makes me work really hard to accomplish my tasks. I would like to ask the Board of Education members to approve the budget for the middle school expansion. This will allow the upper elementary students to continue their Montessori education without any problems or disruptions. Just because we have a small school does not mean we do not have great things. The motto at Judith P. Hoyer is, from small beginnings come great things. Thank you for your time and consideration in this matter.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Our next speaker is Gina Bowler.
Good evening. My name is Gina Bowler. I'm the parent of 2 preschool-age children and co-founder of the grassroots group My Bilingual Child. My comments are on Spanish immersion and International Baccalaureate or IB programs. I'm very excited and grateful that Spanish immersion dual language programs are proposed in the budget. Thank you very much, Mr. CEO, Dr. CEO, for your leadership in this area. I urge the Board of Education to keep it in the budget. I want my child who starts kindergarten this fall and children throughout the county to have the opportunity to attend a public Spanish immersion dual language elementary school in our county. I also am very pleased to hear that a potential site has been identified for our school district's first and only IB primary years program. Many families and students interested in Spanish and other language immersion programs are also interested in the academic rigor, global orientation, and prestige of IB programs. I urge the school district to add Spanish immersion to at least some of its IB programs in the near future. At the Boundary Forums held in December, potential sites for IB new theme programs were Melwood Elementary School for IB primary years, and for IB middle years, it was Dwight Eisenhower Middle School and the John Hanson French Immersion School. It's noteworthy that a few years ago, James Madison Middle School became an IB theme school. I understand that calling IB a theme school instead of a specialty program is significant. With the theme program, access is restricted to in-boundary students, and with a specialty program, access is open countywide via lottery application. I've heard that the rationale for the theme school designation is that IB programs are expensive, and making them in-boundary helps keep transportation costs down and ensure continuity. I urge you to elevate more equitable access among the considerations. If countywide access to IB primary middle years programs is not feasible at this time, please figure out a way to provide more equitable access on some scale rather than what would appear to be none at all under the current in-boundary only for James Madison and the proposed Melwood and Dwight Eisenhower schools. It's also inconsistent with the IB diploma application, the IB diploma program that's available countywide via application at several sites. For example, consider a lottery application open to in-boundary students for the corresponding high school or district, or consider reserving a combination of in-boundary seats with transportation and out-of-boundary seats via lottery application with or without transportation. As for concerns about continuity, be assured that there are long waiting lists and high tuition costs for such schools, which are good indicators that families and students want access and continuity. One such private school is Prince George's County, charges about $13,500 in tuition, and one in DC charges about $30,000 in tuition. In closing, please continue to support Spanish immersion, dual language, and IB programs with or without immersion, and help our county nurture early development of bilingual or multilingual students who excel academically across subjects, interact effectively with people from different cultures, and compete successfully in the global marketplace. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bowl. Our next speaker is Tommy Makila.
Good evening. My name is Tommy Makila. My son attends Akakik Academy. First of all, I would like to commend Dr. Maxwell's budget proposal. I fully support the additional funding for arts, foreign language programs, and successful specialty programs. The budget proposal is taking the school system in the direction I want, toward offering a more well-rounded education. I've been somewhat dismayed to read in the media comments indicating that we should just be drilling reading and math and appropriately not do much else. My main request regarding the budget is simple. I urge you to seek ways to minimize the amount of funding dedicated to standardized tests. I realize there is testing that is required by the state and the federal government. However, we have gone completely overboard with these tests. As a result, our kids spend an inordinate amount of time taking standardized tests. Last year, my son was in fifth grade. I calculated that he spent at least 27 days taking standardized tests. And my discussions with some of our educators indicate that my estimates is actually lowballing the amount of testing that is taking place in our classrooms. This is complete insanity. I would compare this testing mania to a person trying to compete in a marathon while stopping every half mile to confer with the coach. While this runner's stride may look better when he does run, there's no way he will catch a guy who just keeps on running. When I suggested it to Dr. Maxwell at an earlier meeting that he reduce the amount of testing, he was not very receptive to the idea. In all fairness to him, it may be prudent for him not want to rush big changes in this area. Realizing this reluctance, I suggest that the school system start piloting in a small number of schools alternative, less time-consuming, and cheaper testing regimens. Surely administrators and teachers in these pilot schools could come up with a new, less time-consuming testing system that would cover the needs of the federal government and the state, and also retain the tests that teachers truly find helpful. All of this testing obviously costs money, taking away resources from other areas. Thus, I urge you to seek ways to minimize these testing costs and dedicate those savings to other areas where there are needs. The points I'm making are also connected to the overall goal we all seem to have, to attract more middle-class families to our schools. If we narrow our curriculum and do nothing else besides drilling math and reading, middle-class parents will not return to our system. If we don't come to our senses with the standardized testing mania, middle-class families will surely find alternatives where more time and money is dedicated to actual teaching. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Macklin. Our next speaker is Margaret White. Is Margaret White here? Margaret White. No Margaret White. Okay, we'll go on. Our next speaker is Eileen Cave. Is Eileen Cave?
Good evening, distinguished members of the school board, Dr. Maxwell, and staff. As we proceed with the fiscal year 2015 budget planning process, I am here as the board chair of the Prince George's Arts and Humanities Council, urging you to share our vision of progressive education reform by supporting Dr. Maxwell's proposed budget as planned, to show full support of unprecedented, momentum-building funding that recognizes the essential value of a comprehensive arts education. By funding more arts educators and the establishment of a creative performing arts program for our younger students in the Gateway Arts District, from cradle to career choices, we are finally moving towards access to all the arts for significantly more children. In coming weeks, as we prepare for a major rally in support of this year's PGCPS budget plan, the Prince George's Arts Advocacy Delegation will also be carrying this message to Annapolis and Laurel on February 12th, asking our elected officials for increased funding at the state and county levels. Yes, the arts mean business in Prince George's County, but more importantly, an arts-infused curriculum means our children now have the hope and the means to close the academic gap for the first time in history. Dr. Maxwell, I hope that they can hear us down in Nashville from the rally as we congratulate you for being selected as a finalist for the National Superintendent of the Year.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the list of registered speakers for this evening. Just to be clear, is there anyone out there who thinks they had registered to speak but who is not on my list? All right, well, folks, that concludes our public hearing. We are here. Please feel free to come and interact with us a little bit, ask us another question, follow up with us. Some of us will be sticking around. Look, some of our folks like, what? No. So many great folks are here. Again, we need this level of engagement and involvement on a regular basis. Thank you for coming out. Come back out to the next budget public hearing again. Ladies and gentlemen, we are adjourned.